There are quite a lot of turf pool defense videos out there, but for some reason quite a lot of them are not actually called turf pool defense videos. And also there have been some changes in how Protoss defend turf pools. So I want to make this video real quick to tell you guys the two main ways of defending a turf pool. There's the classic, really safe way, and there's a new modern way which involves a lot more micro, but also puts you in a better economic spot. So let's go through the first one. We start out with a normal 1-gate expand. In this game we scout after the first gateway, nothing special. And then we find the hatchery to be missing, which is the moment where we can safely assume, almost safely assume, we see that it is going to be a turf pool. Also there's going to be a turf pool because, oh yeah, we see 3 links in production. There we go. In this case it's a gas turf pool. We will ignore that though. The only thing you want to know already is that if you see a gas, then this specific defense we're doing, theoretically speaking, is worse. And you will see why. What we're doing right now is we're doing the 2-gate defense, which means that what we're going to be building is we're going to be building the Zealot and the Cybercore and the gateway instantly when we can, right? So as soon as the gateway finishes, I can show that off real quick again. Boom Cybercore, boom gateway, boom Zealot, and then right afterwards we grab the pylon. We don't grab the second gas. We don't grab the second gas before the Nexus. Alright. And then in some games we have to chrono boost our Zealot. In other games we don't have to chrono boost our Zealot. I kind of like do it spontaneously depending on what the timing is. You kind of develop a feeling for it. But if you want to be safe, just chrono boost the Zealot because the pylon is going to be up really quickly. And what we then go for again is we go for the second Zealot. And we just kind of defend the links like that. Depending on the micro of your opponent, it's going to be a little bit harder. But usually this is just going to be safe. The one thing you want to be careful about is that they can't kill your buildings. So the only micro you really have to do is keep sending your Zealots out a little bit, attacking some links, going back in, right? That's the only micro you have to do. Then as soon as you can, you grab the Nexus, as you see. And then as you can see, it lines up very nicely with when this Zealot is finishing. So you can start building 2 adepts. Then you basically defended the turf pool. You grab the pylon because otherwise you're going to be supply blocked. You grab the gas. Look at the drone con right now. And then you send over those 2 adepts to do some counter harassment. And that is the turf pool defense. From here on out you can go into anything you want to go for. Most people go for like a Stargate nowadays. For a little bit of time it was glaives, that was the natural follow-up, but we do some counter harassment. But very important, you shouldn't do that when you see a gas, because usually Zerg at this point have more than enough links at home with gas, with speed, that these adepts will just die. That won't be worth it, right? But that is the first defense, the safest way to do it. Also doesn't put you quite that economically ahead of the Zerg if both people play it perfectly. Compared to the second option that I'm going to show you in a little bit. But it's the safer and almost more fun way later on, because you can do some counter harassment. Okay, great. Same moment in time, guys, just a different side of the map, but it's still the same, right? We see a turf pool, we see the links building, we see a gas. Once again, the second option is the better option in every way, if you do it correctly, right? What you do is you grab a 19 Nexus, you stop pro production 19 as well, that's important. This is how your base is looking right now. And then you start the Zealot instantly. We see the hatchery go down. You start the Zealot, then you start the Cybercore, in this case on the other side. And then what you do is you pull 3 probes. You pull 3 probes. Maybe 4 probes. I think 5 probes is the ideal amount of probes you want. In this game I put 3 probes. And you build a pylon here in the wall off. And then what happens is the first Zealot gets chrono boosted, the second Zealot also pops out, and then you defend the links on the outside of your wall while microing with your probes and Zealots to keep them alive. In this game, I'm going to be losing 2 probes, and as you can see, this is a harder way to defend the turf pool because you actually have to micro a lot more than just sending the Zealot out and in again, out and in again. You have to micro with your probes. You want to make sure that they don't die. What you want to do is position your camera in a way that when the probe goes down, you can just click it and right click it back really quickly. Make sure the Zealot doesn't die. But as you can see, the second zealot pops out really quickly. You also don't really have to fight with the probe outside, depending on the micro of the Zerg. Sometimes you can also just like keep those that zealot in the wall at first, hit some links, and then afterwards send those probes out, right? Like as soon as the links are a little bit lower. And that is that defense. You build a pylon in the wall, and then you're going to be in a really good economic position. In this case, I lost 2 probes, but the lava production of Zerg is really, really behind right now, as you can see. So we're gonna get our probe production going a lot quicker. We're not gonna do counter damage, but we're gonna get a lot quicker probe production, right? And that's amazing. And from here on out, once again, you transition into whatever you want to. Don't lose your probes. It's hard. I personally think it's hard. The first option is still, I think if you're below 5.3k or something, the first option is still almost like just the safer thing to go. But just so you know, this is the modern way of holding a 12 pool. You get a zealot after the nexus at 19 supply, then you grab the cybercore. Right afterwards, you grab a pylon, you grab a second zealot, and then you transition out. Real quick though, on some maps you can't actually go for a pylon wall off where you only hold off with 1 zealot, right? As I just explained, it's a lot easier when you like keep the zealot on the wall at first, and then you move out with the probes when the links are already down, or maybe you don't at all, depending on the micro of the Zerg, and that makes it a lot easier. However, some maps don't allow you to only have 1 space with a pylon. Some maps have too wide of a ramp, so we want to keep that in mind and maybe test that beforehand before you do this more advanced way of defending 12 pools. And that's it. That is how you defend 12 pools. And this hopefully is going to be the most concise and direct video there is for people that want to know how to defend 12 pools. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, everything important. Check out my Twitch stream that I'm streaming literally right now. Hi chat, by the way. Everything linked down below. Love you all. Take care. Peace.